Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We're still trying to get this war going. And I'm hoping we can successfully defend here, because this is kind of busted. Is it a naval invasion situation? Not sure. If they get a hold of Togo, we can try and do a naval invasion with a stronger army and see if we're able to do that. Ooh, Papal States supports Italian unification. I'm going to start improving relations with Sardinia and Piedmont. I can't. Wow, I really am short on... stop improving relations with Austria and start improving them with Sardinia and Piedmont, because I think Sardinia and Piedmont is going to be... Okay, so they've got a hold of Togo now. So, let's go ahead and get a naval invasion planning with one of our larger armies. We'll try and make that happen, and we'll see if that will let us get this front sorted out, because the Army of Ireland is totally goofed on manpower, because they're not reinforcing, and I can't tell why they're not reinforcing. They should be reinforcing. We seem to have lost a little bit of authority. We're still doing that emergency relief thing. We have the Great Hunger over there, and that'll time out fairly soon. And we'll get this naval invasion going, and hopefully that'll put this situation to bed. I wonder if it's a railways problem? Sadly, we've lost our construction project that we were in the middle of, because they got a hold of the state we were building it. Sardinia Piedmont. Why would you do this? Curriculum disagreements. Disagreements within the government about what should be taught in the new private schools have brought implementation of the reform to a standstill. These classes may have been well suited for the tutoring of noblemen 2 centuries ago, but believing they would serve a broader range of students well in this day and age is outright lunacy. And you mean to say your modern alternatives would serve them better? You would have the classical subjects phased out in favor of ignorance and poor grammar. Force a compromise. This reduces enactment success chance. Take some time to work out the differences. This increases enactment time. Or rearrange the law to create an independent body for this. 1 setback. I'm going to take some time to work out the differences. That is going to slow down implementation, but I'm basically okay with that. We estimate we have a 1% advantage, and we are winning here, which is interesting. We might still be able to clinch this. Again, I'm not sure. How? How did the naval invasion fail? Naval invaded more. Oh, okay, hold up. This army needs another, this fleet needs another leader. Let's go with this guy, he's innovative. Alright, we'll try a different army. We'll try, let's see, who's mobilized? We'll try the Household Division. Okay, and the Army of India is on its way now. Ooh. One of America's trade routes is goofed because there is a peasant revolt happening. That's wild. There's also a peasant revolt happening in the Indian... Oh my goodness. How did America get a nice square Great Sioux nation? That's wild. Well, now we have... Well, now we have parity over here. Oh my goodness. All the great powers are joining in the war. We're doing a naval invasion here. We've got the Army of India in this situation now, so hopefully... because that's a friendly army. The Army of Ireland is the army I'm looking at. I'll put you on advance. Again, no idea why, what happened or how this happened, but it is what it is. Alright, so now you're on your way to the main front, hopefully. Dissenters break ranks. We had another stall event. Again, this is not at all unexpected. To outside observers, the intelligentsia may appear firmly committed to the idea of private schools. Behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now, a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of the reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own concerns are left unanswered and our own desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard here, we shall be so elsewhere. Splitters, may the devil take them. This reduces our enactment chance. Loosen the purse strings, perhaps we could lure some of them back. This so reduces enactment chance. Or we can offer them custodianship over a new draft. This increases enactment time, but increases enactment chance as well. I'm going to go with this. This is going to give us one setback, but it'll let us get some enactment chance, and I think that's excellent. Alright, so now we've got a significant overage against Sokoto on strength, so hopefully that should sort the situation out. We got two armies here, and the Army of Ireland does appear to be properly reinforcing again, so I'm hoping that sorts that out. Language in the classroom. Equatorial Bantu students sometimes use their native language in British schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of Great Britain. You've noticed it too, right? He gets angry when anyone talks in class, but he always gets angrier when we're talking. Maybe he thinks we're talking about him. I think he just doesn't like being reminded that we know something he doesn't. I never know what to do with this. Schools should teach them the proper language. We're doing imperialism. That's what I'm going to put there. We have an obligation from Greece that's expiring. We'll absolve it. I don't need anything from you, Greece. Let's have a trade agreement, shall we? Perfect. We still have a pretty solid overage in bureaucracy. Let's go ahead and improve home affairs a little more. And actually, I'm going to do something a little different right now. I'm going to stop bolstering the industrialists, and I'm actually going to start suppressing the landed gentry. Because I want them to be weaker in the country. Alright, we've got a hold of Outer Houseland. That should allow us to have what we need. So we'll go ahead and press that button, and then there's Nitro unlocked, which is good. And then we should have access to colonize these areas as well. And that is what we wanted this for. So, we're getting this formation cannot reach home HQ thing again. So you're going here, I guess. And have I got ports in these areas? I don't have a port. I do have a port here. And I have a port here. I think it's good to go. I think I'm actually good to go with all that. I sure frickin' hope I am. Alright, in any case... Nitroglycerin. So, do I have any explosives in my market? A few. I have one explosives factory. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the output of that explosives factory And we're going to get some of our iron mines using nitroglycerin. As long as, to the greatest extent that it's profitable, we'll do it. That has made explosives mighty expensive, but we can go ahead and increase the size of our explosives industry significantly. And I think we can cancel these iron mines in North Borneo for the moment, as we increase the size of these explosives plants instead. So, that is going to help us significantly by increasing our explosive supply. We can go ahead and get more and more of our mines converted over to using nitroglycerin to explode all the stone that all the tasty, tasty minerals are in. Ottomans and Austrians are in a war. Let's see what it's about. This is the French war against Constantine. The Austrians are on the French side, and the Ottomans are... the Austrians are on the side of Constantine, and the French are... the Ottomans are supporting them. Okay, so interesting. Orison proletarian revolts. If they ask for our help, we will grant it. Come on, give me private schools. That war went way longer than I thought it was going to, so now we actually are a little bit lower on infamy than we need to be. Back being exposed. Another stall event. Prominent members of the intelligentsia, outspoken supporters of private schools, and close allies of William Lamb have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. One aide was all it took, one boy squeezing acne from his face in the right place at the right time to overhear the howling laughter, smell the rich tobacco blend, and spot William Lamb's new golden cufflinks. One honest fellow's word to the right ears, and it was all uncovered. So, such is the nature of politics. Makes William Lamb way, way less popular. Throw them to the wolves. We must clean up this mess. This costs us some bureaucracy. We can derive some benefit from participating ourselves. I'm definitely not going to do this. Reduced enactment time is not worth much to me. We'll throw them to the wolves. We still got 32% enactment chance. Transfer their subject to Glylor. I accept. So we'll mobilize the Army of India and we'll put them in position. You better be able to get there, Army of India. Swear to God, if you do that thing again. Household Division seems good to go. Another 10th British Army you can get rid of. Oh my goodness. That must be why this this place failed. Okay, so you're at least a market liberal. We'll put you in charge here. You're a jingoist. See, I don't want to increase the influence of the Anglican Church right now. You're at least unpopular. Here, you're a good dude. And you're an abolitionist to boot. Alright. Mediterranean station needs a leader as well. This guy's an industrialist. He'll be more than up to the task. And then the South American station. We've got a brave dockyard organizer. Perfect. Unfortunately, I need to help British East India with this situation before we continue our conquests, but that's just fine. It looks like Sardinia-Piedmont has stopped damaging relations with us, and America is locked in a civil war, though not the civil war that I might have expected. We are actually going to need a little bit of additional bureaucracy here, because we're getting a little bit of a tax waste situation. 2 arms, so I'm going to go ahead and queue in. Actually got some government admin queued up already, so let's pull this up to the top of our situation here. We'll put it right behind the current round of explosives factories. Garibaldi offers his services. Joining our struggle against the Oris and Proletarian Revolt, judging our struggle against the Oris and Proletarian Revolt just, the Italian revolutionary and nationalist Giuseppe Garibaldi has decided to align with our cause, offering up his services as a general. I offer neither pay nor quarters nor food. I offer only hunger, thirst, forced marches, battles, and death. Let him who loves his country with his heart and not merely with his lips follow me. Garibaldi, you're a radical aligned with the trade unions. Why don't you unite Italy? Why don't you do the thing that you do? I don't need that guy. So, this should basically be finished. Yep, that is good to go. So we're going to get Gwailor, which is this country, to be our puppet rather than India's. Which is frankly just fine with me. Hey, there's a success. Only one more step successful and we can have private schooling. And that'll be just wonderful. So where is our next expansion target? We're not bordering with Messina yet, but I could get there by conquering Furajalon, Karta, and Segu. I'm also up against Futa Taro, and if I grab both states in Futa Taro, I could potentially cut off the French from finishing colonizing Ulata and have all of that to myself. Which is extremely tempting, I must say. Almost done with this explosives factory. Feeling pretty pleased about that overall. Getting this going successfully. Yeah, I think that's going to be the next item on the agenda. Our infamy is at 9.8. So, we'll take a look at that as soon as this war is over, which should be pretty soon. I should think. Really surprising we haven't actually needed any army expansions so far this run, because we are getting pretty far on just our starting forces. With that having been said, though, we definitely have options. So, if we go with this state, that's going to be 4.5, and this one is going to be 4.1. We can do it, so let's go ahead and do it. They have indeed refused to surrender the goods. I'm going to grab Mauritania as well, and I'm actually... Let me see. We're at Infamy 18. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the primary warble. France is most likely going to step in here. If they see what I'm doing, they'll step in. But the AI is not great at that kind of thing. William Smith O'Brien, you're an historical agitator. You're not actually creating that many radicals in my country right now, but I am getting heckin' radicals. So we'll see how that goes. Unify Ethiopia play happening in Ethiopia between, looks like, Shewa and Walega. Thought Harar was involved. Just sort of assumed that based on the size of Harar right now, but apparently not. That's delightful. So we got another explosives factory built, and that has significantly increased our explosive supply. So let's go ahead and get more of our iron mines using nitro. We'll convert over the ones in East Anglia. Screw it, we'll just do all of them. That is once again put explosives in pretty tight supply, but that's good for the explosives barons. So I'm pretty pleased about that. And we definitely have the strength to press forward here without a problem. It does not appear that anyone is interested in intervening. I could sway Spain, but that won't necessarily do anything for me. I'm going to get our rice and millet farms on soil-enriched farming. Industrial barriers. Factories in Leinster have been reported to be placing Irish people into roles with incredibly poor working conditions, owing to their status as second-class citizens in the British Empire. I know. Us businessmen have a reputation for only caring about the bottom line. That may be true for some, but the way I see it, any venture must be built on a strong foundation of values. The Irish don't understand those values. How could they? They're our values. This unequal treatment cannot stand. This weakens the Catholic Church, which would be nice. They're lucky to be given any job at all. Ooh. That's brutal. -1 SOL in Ireland. Nope, can't do that. Gonna go with this first one. Sorry, Anglican Church, I know that's gonna make you big mad, but honestly, I gotta do what I gotta do. Academic assistance. The teachers of our higher institutions of learning have offered to advise the government in the implementation of the new private schools. There are certainly differences between teaching children the fundamentals and the more advanced education offered at our universities. Nevertheless, as architects of the upper floors of this towering structure of knowledge, we believe the least we can do is provide some insight into how the foundation should be built. We'd be happy to have their help. 20% enactment chance, but it cuts university throughput in half. Or their research work is more important, 10% enactment chance. We're pretty close. I can take a reduction to university throughput. Let's go with the first one. We're at 50%. I think we can get there this time. And no one is intervening, so this war should be a cinch. 18.7 infamy. And this time I did not go for not adding the second state to the war goals because I wanted to get the entire country so that I can, if this colony spreads this way effectively, I can stop France from being able to get out of this little bit of Senegal here, and I can get my colonization locked down. Fortunately, this is not exactly colonizing in an efficient manner, but it is what it is. Do I have any more colonies I can establish around here? Not yet, at least. Alright, and that's the whole country conquered. Go ahead and mark both of those as our war goals for the moment. We just built up another government admin, and we're still a little bit short on administrative capacity, so we'll continue to we'll put another government admin building into that whole situation, and hopefully that'll help us out. We're going to need to get to the bottom here because basically all the way to -100, because once again we are fully conquering the country at this point. How is the market looking? Iron is still very expensive, but we are continuing to increase our iron output through use of explosives, so I'm pretty pleased about that overall. And we are there. Let me go ahead and align our production methods. All right. Hey, and there's private schools. Wonderful. It does say that most of these farms will be more profitable if we set them to apple orchards, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once again, we have the City of Plenty event, this time in the Midlands. I've read this before. This is our bet. We can get some loyal upper stratum and middle stratum pops, or we can say the party will never end. I'm going to go with the bottom one. We're betting that standard of living will stay high, but it's Great Britain. Of course the standard of living is going to stay high. Oh, alright. So, we're basically getting one more explosives factory built here. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and increase the... Oh, right, you have the federate... the things. So, we unlocked nationalism a little while ago, and that's going to let us start merging these various countries here. Those are decisions in the journal. So, we're going to federate Canada. God save the Queen. Lower Canada will annex Columbia District. So Lower Canada is now both of these. And then we're going to do the same in Australia. God save the Queen. I should probably read these, but let's see. So that's New South Wales annexed Southern Australia. Oh no, Van Diemen's Land annexed Southern Australia. Rad. Sorry, I'll read it next time. Hey, France stopped embargoing us. Not that we have any desire for French goods. Let me see. We'll continue to improve relations with Spain. And where are we with infamy? We're at 16, so you need to be a little bit careful, but not too careful. Let's colonize Volta. Where is Volta? Ah. Now we can colonize Inner Mauritania. And we did successfully... Well, not quite. We're not quite around them yet. Hudson Bay Company wants our help against the Iron Confederacy. We'll accept. We'll mobilize the Army of Canada to deal with it. The Iron Confederacy does not have much of an army, so I'm not too concerned about it overall. I have some armies with unupgraded cavalry. Oh, goodness. Need to upgrade this artillery here. Army of India, let's check out the Army of Ireland. We have 1 unit of irregular infantry we need to upgrade, and 6 units of dragoons. The Home Army has some hussars and dragoons that need to be upgraded into lancers. Army of the West Indies is good to go. The Household Division has some irregular infantry. Army of the Mediterranean is just fine. The Army of the Cape of Good Hope has some dragoons that need to be upgraded into lancers. And then the Army of Australia is good to go. I am going to slate in a military expansion at some point here, but not too soon. Alright, so we got more explosives in the market. We can go ahead and grab an increase of about 100. Hey, music player, let's go. Ooh, that's going to be too much, but we can definitely use more coal. So, we'll grab just the ones in Yorkshire. And that gives us... Where's coal? Should increase coal output. Here it is. We're actually doing pretty okay on coal for now. Feeling pretty pleased about that overall situation. But everyone needs coal, so let's see how we can export coal. Spain definitely needs some of our coal. And we can be producing tons and tons of coal because we're Great Britain. And that will indeed help us build up trade ties that will be more useful later on in the run. Indeed, we are continuing to be a little bit short on government admin, but we're also continuing to build up. We're still really, really short on iron. And I'm really short on construction. So we're going to throw down some more construction industry. Let's go with a level in Wales, a level in East Anglia, a level in the home counties, one level each in Lancashire and Yorkshire, 2 more levels in the lowlands, 1 in the highlands, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go with 1 in Ulster and 1 in Leinster. Wow, there's a lot of peasants living in Ireland. Tell you what. We'll build each state in Ireland up to 3. And we'll get that going basically as soon as we're done with the current set of iron mines, and then we'll put Big Ben at the bottom here. These. And there's the war with the Iron Confederacy popping off. Again, the Iron Confederacy is a Native American nation that doesn't have much of an army, so I'm really not going to pay too much attention to this. France is going to conquer Tuat. Probably should have paid more attention to that, but that's fine. Oh, this is a colonial war. Let's see. Again, there are a bunch of places over in Asia that I could, in Oceania, that I could work on colonizing, but none of it's as efficient as colonizing Africa at the moment, and because colonial growth is basically split between different colonies, I'm focusing my effort where it's going to be the most efficient. Again, I'm hoping we can get a hold of... We can block up some of this area here so that we can lock down the French and prevent them from getting properly into Africa, because that will allow us to remain African hegemons, and that would be wonderful. Let's see. Still building up explosives output. Explosives continue to be expensive. We're also a little bit short on wood. We've got plenty of iron, or plenty of oil. We have a few places producing hardwood. I think we're basically good on hardwood, though. Let's see. Oh, hardwood's really, really cheap in our market. You want to buy hardwood? No. Alright, well. I think hardwood may be being kind of phased out overall of the game as a thing that countries need to concern themselves with, because I think... Wow, gosh, we're still so short on bureaucracy. Actually, let's get these explosives farther down. I actually don't need an enormous expansion of the mining industry right now, because we're fully explosives focused on iron, and that's kind of what counts. So we'll just put these down here, and we'll throw a few more government admin up to the top as soon as that's done. The Voice of the Nation. A group of respectable musical composers teaching at the Arts Academy in the home counties have approached us. They've drawn attention to the alarming lack of a proper national anthem fit to invigorate our people's spirits. Land of riches, land of silver, glory is ours to deliver. Born from the night and blessed by day to drive all our enemies away. Now that's a cool national anthem. 20 prestige for 5 years. That's rad. Hudson Bay colonization rights were virtually here. I'm just going to go ahead and finish out this war, and then we'll put a pin in the episode for the moment. And that should be it. Alright. That is the end of the war and colonization rights for the Hudson Bay Company. And that's all we've got time for tonight, friends. I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time. And I will see you all on the other side